Okay, so we're here with my friend Darren Drinkwater. Darren, earlier today, Dean Clifford, the one of the leaders of the Freeman movement and guy who knows all about the trust laws and whatnot, bit of a kick-ass guy, was arrested. You were there. Tell us, Dean, in your own words and as quickly as possible, what happened?
All right, man. Well, essentially, I was basically shocked that this went down, but we were heading to Sobeys for basically groceries on very slippery roads. We hit a patch and then we spun out. He basically just spun out and did a complete 180. Ended up backwards. Decided to back up to the destination. Basically, instead of blocking the road and maybe causing an accident and ending up in the ditch, he decided to continue backing up. And this was a very short street that he backed up on into the Sobeys parking lot. And basically, then he gets to the destination and he hops out of the truck. I am basically in the truck, waiting for him to just go and come back. A cop comes out of nowhere and pulls up behind the truck, and basically after a short discussion Dean had with the cop at his window, he walks away and starts, going towards the store again. And then the cop just gets out of the car and lunges at Dean and tells him that he's under arrest while doing so. Of course, a scuffle ensued, and Dean didn't like the fact that the guy was trying to manhandle him. Eventually, they agreed to release each other, to my content.
Did Dean ask? Did Dean ask him what am I under arrest for?
Dean essentially asks, what are the charges? What is your claim? Is what he was saying. The guy flat out said, I saw you making donuts in the parking lot. And mind you, this is a Sobeys parking lot, so it's a private property.
Right.
Okay. And basically, he says, you're under arrest for making donuts. After they scuffled, he agreed to release Dean, and they would just talk at that point. He immediately went and called for backup. Cops arrived, but maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, they had their sirens going and the lights flashing. It was a real emergency. They tried to reason with, each other. No one wanted to basically give way. They just put handcuffs on him and they took him away, and that was the.
And this was in the private parking lot of Sobeys in Gimli, Manitoba.
Correct.
Okie doke.
It was in a grocery store parking lot that basically, it started in a hardware store parking lot, and then as he was driving towards a grocery store parking lot, he basically had to. There was a small road connecting the two parking lots. And it was extremely slippery. As he turned onto that small road, basically, the truck did a 180.
Do you know whether or not that small road is a public road, or is it a private access road between these two private businesses?
It would probably be a private access road between those two businesses.
Well, then it's none of the cop's business. It would be absolutely none of the police officer's business what he's doing on that, is if it's not public road. That'd be one of the first things I would check into. Do you know whether Dean has sworn to preserve and maintain the peace? He is a common law peace officer, is he not?
Yes, and he was telling them that basically, and at one point, the female RCMP at this point, because the male RCMP went back to the car for warmth, she was telling him, because Dean said basically, I put him under arrest. I basically said that you're under arrest, and he was explaining to her how he was a peace officer, and basically she was asking him for his badge.
Is that she was asking him for his badge?
Yeah, she literally asks him, okay, can I see your badge then? And he basically, he told him he was under no obligation to prove that up right then and there.
It'd be nice if he had one. It doesn't hurt to have one. But this is East Interlake Detachment, is it not? In Gimli, Manitoba? Is that the right area?
That sounds. It would be west, I think, on the west side of Lake Winnipeg. But
yeah, the East Interlake area is situated north of Winnipeg, between Lake Winnipeg and Lake Manitoba.
Okay, yes, then it is on the east side of the Interlake area. Correct. You're correct there. It's the.
No, I think it's on the west side. I looked at the map. It looks like it's on the west side of the lake. But the phone number for that detachment is 204-642-5106. And if listeners wanted to speak with Dean, since he is a peace officer, I imagine they are treating him with a certain amount of professional courtesy, and people could easily call in to the detachment there at 204-642-5106 and ask to speak with Peace Officer Dean Clifford. I'm sure that wouldn't hurt any. I'm sure it would help ensure that they treat him with the level of respect that is due, and that they don't take it upon themselves.
He was being very polite and courteous to the female RCMP, trying to basically let them know that he had been through this before, and when she told them that they own the roads, she was trying to establish some kind
What's that? She said what now? What did she say?
She said that we own the roads, and essentially then me and Dean chirped in at this point, because I was actually right there next to him. I was his.
So let me get, this is kind of shocking. And do you remember this officer's name, the one who claims that the RCMP own the roads in Canada?
No, I don't remember her name. I didn't, this is the first time I get caught up in something like this, and I did not think to even look at the name on her shirt. Oh, no. I remember her name. She mentioned her name because Dean asked her name, and it was Corporal, or it's not Corporal, but Sergeant, was it Street? I found it very interesting that she thought that they own the street and her name was Street.
So it could be something like highway or road or sergeant.
It was Constable. I don't know why I
missed
that. Constable Street, I believe, is what her name was, and she was the one trying to get Dean to supply information, and he would not contract with them. He was like, I am under no obligation to contract with you, especially if I have not disturbed the peace, and I have not disturbed.
And he's on private property, for Pete's sake. They've got no claim to.
On private property on a Sobeys parking lot, which is just extremely slippery, and he's got a pickup truck, which is notorious for doing fishtails. Right? If you're not extremely careful at all times, your rear end will spin out.
Yeah, it will, and we'll talk about that at a later time. Thank you for your time there, Darren. And
thank you very much for helping me voice this bill problem.
Yeah, no worries, dude. And right. I'm sure Dean will be well, and hopefully they get a couple of phone calls.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Yeah, and if anybody wants to do that, please by all means do so. Help out.
Okay, cheers.
All right, cheers, buddy.